Tokenmetrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. This is the Market Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. This show is brought to you by tokenmetrics.com. If you need a roadmap in crypto and you need to make money in crypto now, subscribe to this channel. Turn on alerts so you know when we're going live. And if the content works out for you, please drop a like. Today, we are going to bring back Altcoin Overtime, and the shade of this shirt is green. So hopefully that gets your attention. What I can tell you is very simple. If you're going to make money in crypto being long, okay, you got to do it now. You got anywhere from 10 days to 6 weeks, and that is the bottom line. We're starting with the bottom line today. Now, as a part of Altcoin Overtime, I have got my colleagues from the NFT sector here at Tokenmetrics, Jacob and Chase. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, Bill. Good to be here.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah,
okay.
Happy to be here. It's a wonderful Thursday.
Right. The NFT guys are back. So is Altcoin Overtime. Did I mention that? All right. Let's welcome to see who's here on the stream. Right. We have Space Cowboy joining in first. How appropriate, right? The Warpler, Christopher, let's smash the like button. We have California, Georgia, Nebraska's here, right? York, UK, welcome, right? We have Nevada, Seattle, Oxford, right? And we have, let's see, who else do we have? We have Christian Emmanuel Cruz. Welcome to the show. Tyson says AVAX to lead the next bull market, not financial advice. Okay, so the next bull market, let's talk about that. All right, so let's go right into your market update, welcoming Burbank and Montreal. So let's jump in because we got a lot to cover. Okay, now the PowerPoint is welcome back by the fact. Okay. So yesterday I had quotes around buy, kind of meaning don't be short. Now I'm telling you that this thing has a lot of room to run. So we're going to cover what we did yesterday. We're going to update all those charts. We're going to talk about relevant legacy markets. And by the way, Altcoin Overtime returns. Okay, crypto research and chill. We are offering a 30% discount on all Tokenmetrics plans. Code is CHILL30, expires July 10th. Now, here's what I can tell you about this. Back in March, before sell in May and go away, which started in April, one of my big themes was if you're going to make money in crypto, being long, you got to do it now. Okay? Now, I don't know if it's going to last 3 days or 3 weeks or 6 weeks, but our system is fantastic at helping you make money, particularly when there's a turn in the market. So if we got a bear market rally, right, a subscription to Tokenmetrics can pay for itself in a day or a week, depending on what you get involved in. Chill 30 for 30% off Tokenmetrics. Also introducing Tokenmetrics Research. So research.tokenmetrics.com. Free articles will be posted. So the free articles are free. All right. And you can read 2 premium articles per month. Right. So if you need research in crypto, right, not only can you subscribe to this channel, but you can check out research.tokenmetrics.com to get even more information. So chill 30, research.tokenmetrics.com. Now, let's move to the dollar. Yesterday, we kind of made fun of crypto Twitter, saying that every time the dollar index went down at 103.5 and at 101, everyone's like, oh, the dollar's top, crypto's going to go up. Okay. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. And the dollar continued to go up, right, as crypto Twitter sold the bottom of the dollar index. Now, the dollar index has mooned. Now, I can acknowledge the dollar index can continue to moon. We have economic data coming up. But to be honest with you, it feels emotional. And you know what? The crypto market agrees. Because as soon as I got off the air yesterday, this thing took off. So if the dollar index actually goes down or is stable, I think it's been emotional enough on the upside to allow for a crypto rally. So the time to talk about a friendly dollar index top wasn't after it gone down. It was after it went up. In other words, now. Now, the euro is the thing that drives the dollar index. So euro down, dollar up. The euro also feels pretty overdone. It's still below a key point, right? At like, 101.80-ish. So if the euro can just bump up a little bit, that could be very beneficial for crypto. Now let's talk about stocks. I just retweeted something on my Twitter, from a guy I respect, noting that a lot of people in equities have maybe covered shorts and gone long, anticipating a bear market rally. We'll go into why there could be a bear market rally in a minute. The bottom line is the Fed may have to at least back off in terms of their rhetoric, or the Fed may complete its tightening program and then have to relax because the economy may be rolling over. Okay. So, for token metrics, we're doing research and chill. For the Fed, it might be tighten and chill. Okay. There's an expectation that they may have to relax. Now, I wasn't really taking that seriously before, but I'm taking it a lot more seriously now with equities behaving the way they are. So if S&P is above 3882, S&P can go up. Now, I prefer crypto to stocks for the bear market rally only because when it's not clear whether or not earnings are going to fall out of bed for stocks, whereas crypto is dramatically oversold. So crypto is oversold. There are a lot of bottoming indicators from DeMark, and I suspect big players have pulled their money off of exchanges. So short sellers who were using centralized exchanges may not be there. Okay, so we'll go into that more later. Now, here's the yield curve. All right, now you're going to read in the legacy papers, right, that the yield curve is inverted. So normally, long-term interest rates are higher than short-term interest rates. Makes sense, right? You're going to loan somebody money for 2 days, right, or 2 weeks, right? You're going to charge a certain level of interest. If you're going to lend somebody money for 10 months or 10 years, that rate's going to be higher because there's more risk. Well, guess what, right? Long-term interest rates are falling because they expect the economy to get weaker, whereas short-term interest rates are still tied to a Fed that is still tightening. So if you look at this graph, okay, the yield curve is inverted. Like it means long-term minus short-term is less than zero. Now, what you'll read in the legacy papers is for the last umpteen years, every time the yield curve gets inverted, there's eventually some sort of recession. So the longer the yield curve stays inverted, the more likely it is that this narrative about the Fed temporarily will, exist, right? We still have to wait for the payroll number and the inflation number, but who knows how the market's going to handle it. They may look at it and say, well, these are lagging indicators and we think inflation will be lower going forward. I don't know. The point is the inverted yield curve is on the Fed's radar. And the reason crypto and equities are rallying is because there's an expectation that the Fed may have to chill out. Now, normally I was blowing that off, but not with an inverted yield curve. And this is all bullish for crypto. Now, just to round this out, this is long bond futures, right? Not interest rates, so bond prices. You've got a bump and run on that yellow trend line, and there's a case for bonds to go up, which means rates down. So Mr. Market is starting to hint that maybe, just maybe, there's going to be an expectation of a top in inflation. Now, if that's the case, okay, that's going to mean a major rip for crypto. That's going to mean a rip for altcoins people are short in. And it could mean a rip for NFTs. Oh, by the way, Jacob and Chase are here to tell you about that. So don't go anywhere, right? So altcoins that have been pushed out of a car, right, or people are short them, all right, have a future here, at least for a couple days. Now, oil, just as an aside, right, everybody thinks that the top is in oil. I don't know if that's true. People are buying it at 100. At this time, I think if oil goes up, it can hold Bitcoin down. But if oil stays stable around 100, that's where you get your 10-day to 6-week rally. Remember, bear market rallies, relief rallies, true relief rallies can be big, really big. In equities, they can be 20%. How big do you think they can be in crypto? Okay. So everyone was talking relief rally like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, no. Now, no one's talking relief rally, and I'm like, wait, yes, hence the change in color of shirt. Now, just to drive this point home, poor Jim Cramer says, there's no real value in crypto. So unfortunately, if this is a 6-week bounce, poor Jim will live forever saying that, what an awful, there's no real value is the last sentence here. What an awful asset NFTs sold to you made up. And it says, see also crypto a con. Jim Cramer sounds the alarm after calling Ethereum terrific and becoming a believer near the top. Okay, he's got to produce TV every day. I understand that. I'm in the same boat. However, I'm sure my NFT analysts that are hoovering up everybody's capitulation are no doubt smiling after seeing that. Okay, just another reminder, sell the rumor, buy the fact, right? Something was out there. We talked about this yesterday. We went from there's something out there, we don't know what it is in May. Then we found out what it is. And now that we know what it is, even though it's far from resolved, we know what it is. And that is where the relief comes from. It's not come from the resolution of the situation. It comes from knowing what it is. Now, just as an aside, with this type of news, Voyager, FTX, all these people, the new unknown is where is the toxic risk, meaning everybody got leveraged against something and it didn't work out. No one knows where that risk is. Then all of a sudden, Celsius gets fully bailed out, okay? And you have to wonder, where did that money come from? Well, here's what I suspect. You know how you get out of a problem with leverage? Well, you just add more leverage. Men behaving badly turns into men behaving badly. Now, in the meantime, that could lead to Rectember later. In the meantime, there's two factors, one of which I did not emphasize enough yesterday, although I emphasized it. And there's a new point I want to bring up. So if I was an over-the-counter trading desk and I was in charge of that trading desk, and I'm sitting on all the ETH or whatever from Voyager or any of these liquidated entities, if I'm sitting on this on all ETH, what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to start a rally. I'm like, well, I've got all the world's ETH. Let's just add a little more and let's push the market. Let's find out where the resistance is. Let's find out where the stops are and push it. So, I'll push it at 1170. We were talking about 1150 yesterday. So we'll push it at 1150 and we'll get it to 1700. And when crypto Twitter is just, going shopping for a Lambo at 1750, we'll just distribute it. Now that's later. That's at the end of what they call the summer rally. What's the summer rally? Well, normally it's sell in May and go away, come back in July, right, and buy. Right? There's like it can last a couple days, a couple weeks, right? It's probably out of gas in August at the latest. But you got to make money now on the long side. If you're a long-only guy, you got to do it now. 1 day, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, I don't know, but now is the time because this is the relief rally. Okay, let's talk about the relief rally and let's talk about ETH versus Bitcoin. So where can ETH go? The ETH price prediction is in the title of the stream. So let's begin here. So ETH versus Bitcoin has basically been in a range between 0.055 and 0.09 for, an extended period of time since April of last year. And of course, due to this debacle, which was no doubt connected to the relationship between staked ETH and ETH, which I won't go into all that, but ETH got hammered as a result of men behaving badly and an over-leveraged crypto centralized lending system. Therefore, when ETH went down, it went down way more than Bitcoin. Well, guess what? What goes down a certain way can go back up a certain way, maybe for a week, maybe for two. But do not get in the way of Ethereum, right? Now it was beware of the failed rally. Now it's beware of the failed decline. So if you get a flash event and this thing lurches lower and comes back up, then whoever's got all this ETH is pushing it. And retail and hedge funds may be coming in to buy the dip. Now, let's talk about ETH weekly. So we discussed the DeMark work yesterday. Let me go over it again. So you have a 13 bottom and a 9 bottom, which can be very powerful signals. Now, for 2 weeks, you got paid to basically ignore that because the market traded terrible. All right. Now, if you have things turning around, I'm not ignoring obvious buying signals, especially since on this ETH chart, if there's a weekly close above 1150, there's no resistance on this chart until 1700. Right now, people on Twitter are already kind of giving me a hard time. They're saying, I thought you said the bottom of ETH could be, much, much lower. It still can be. It still can be because, again, the answer to leverage is more leverage. But if you're one of these people like in America who can only make money being long and ETH is going to it could go to 1750, then now's the time to take the shot. Because again, if I was running one of these trading desks, I would try to ram it through 2000. I would just try to get crypto Twitter so bullish they couldn't see straight, right? To distribute whatever risk that they've got. So to get a little bit more tactical, just a reminder, Token Metrics has a great quant AI-based support resistance system. So it hit 1050 3 times, and then the next set of resistances is up at 1350. So it could be 1700, it could be 1350. You got to get while the getting is good. Now, I don't know if there's going to be a dip back below 1200. If there is, support is at 1193. Hidden pivot analysis indicates that if it's above 1193 ETH, 1394 is next. So I think it's 1394 minimum if there's a daily close today above 1193. And the thing about these kind of bear market rallies is there doesn't have to be a dip, right? Matter of fact, people are like, okay, I'll buy the dip. No. The time to buy the dip was over here, right? Over the July 4th weekend when it hit the 62% retracement of this up move. So the market was supposed to go down. I had my seasonal work had this thing going down in July, early July. And all you got was sideways action on top of support. That was the dip, scary as it was. Now we're in one of these things where somebody is ramming it. Now, let's also take a look at something that is important. So you have a big player or players who want to ram the market higher, and you may have hedge funds that cannot afford another Luna disaster, meaning they cannot have their funds on exchanges, right? In case the exchanges become insolvent. So if you have crypto, you have Tether on an exchange that you're going to use to be short, right? Perpetual futures, you got to get that money out of there. You can't play. This is the odd thing. Remember I talked about liquidity risk and I thought it was going to be inability to buy. Well, now it's inability to short because everyone's too scared to go back into exchanges. So you're like, wait a second, Bill, let me get this straight. There's a big player out there, or players, who want to ram this market higher. There's a possible legacy catalyst with the Fed having to, or expecting the Fed to maybe chill out, maybe, and there's lack of sellers. Remember what I told you, what happens when you get forced liquidation and then the liquidation ends and there's no one left to sell? This market is trading like there's no one left to sell. And it makes sense that hedge funds are like, you know what? I'm pulling the capital out of perpetuals. I'll be long something, but we're not gonna leave money on exchanges. So there's no short seller anymore, or the number of short sellers is reduced to like retail. So it's FTX on the long side versus retail on the short side. Yikes. Bitcoin. Okay, 20,000 is obvious, right? The next GAN level the next DeMark level I have is at 26. Okay. Our quant work has 21,200. So I think if Bitcoin is above 21,200, you have confirmation that a much bigger move is on. So I'm not going to get stupid here because these things can fail, right? It's a bear market. I don't want to turn my back on the bear. But if you start taking out 21,200, you don't know how high it can go. That's the thing with these big bear market rallies, right? I have not talked about this until yesterday, because yesterday, the stuff that hit the tape where all the news was out and everybody's like, it's over, that is always a local bottom. Okay, again, ETH weekly, 1150 is the close. You get a weekly close above 1150, 1706 could be next. Okay. All right, now ETH on the 8-hour chart. So I talked about 1193. All right, and I also talked about the Williams oscillator. So this oscillator is indicating that a big move is possible. Now, the way I would say this is if you could go A, B, and anyone who's watched the stream for a while knows that when you get those C waves up, those C wave corrections, whether they're up or down, they can be unbelievable. They can go harder and faster than you think. So even if this is probably not a full reversal, it's just A, B, C. Okay. So that Williams oscillator near zero, that can warn of a big move. Now it was money warning of big moves on the downside. Always have to be careful of that. But in this case, this feels like there's risk of up only. Okay. Now on a 4-hour chart of ETH, 1237 is another level to look at. So if you missed it and you're like, all right, Bill, I get it. Now what do I do? Okay. 1237 is resistance. If it goes through that, or if it dips back to 1193, those might be the entry points. Okay. Now there's also the idea that if you missed it, maybe there are other altcoins to look at, and we'll go over that in Altcoin Overtime. Okay, Avalanche, all right, destroyed. Everyone gave up on it. Price targets probably will be much lower by the time this bear market is done, but 1990 is a key level, okay? And if it gets above 20, it can go to 24. So if you were picking on this thing and you were being short, at a minimum, do not get in the way of this stuff. Do not. Because if there's no short sellers and somebody pushing it, no telling how much these destroyed coins can go up. Now, Solana, not exactly my favorite, but 38.35 is a key level. So I think Solana is an important leading indicator, right? If Solana, right, can actually pop through 38, okay, it can go to 48. Now, somebody's asking, Speedy Gonzalez is saying, how low can it go? And MMC John says, all of YouTube is bullish now. Okay, yes, I'm sure they are, right? In other words, as soon as the market goes up, crypto YouTube and crypto Twitter are like all-time highs are next. What I think is happening is just a C wave. It's a summer rally. It can last 10 days to 6 weeks. Where is the final bottom in Bitcoin? I don't know. They didn't crash it this year. So perhaps the ultimate bottom is much later, right? And there's going to be Rectember, I think. The question is, what level will Rectember start from? Because this is not over. Okay. So that's how I would play it out, right? Again, why are bear markets so difficult, right? This is what I'm talking about. Because when you get these big relief rallies, they're huge. They suck everyone in. They think it's going to an all-time high. And really what it could be is just longs pushing it with no shorts in the market. Now, without further ado, let's get into altcoin overtime. Now, looking at token metrics where they have a 30% off coupon, chill 30, right? Most of the Kucoin index. So every day our AI picks some of the coins, right, that they think will be good to trade that day. So that ETH 4 hour, that's mislabeled up at the top, right? So busy trying to get that altcoin overtime out to you. Little typo there. So let's take a note as to what's in there. Sandbox, DYDX is in there up at the top. All right. API 3. So I'm like, let's investigate further. API 3, the yellow line is the token metrics grade. Okay. What we look for across the board is we are always looking for coins where the grade moons and price has not gone anywhere yet, or really not moved much. Because a lot of times the grade can spike and the price can follow. So we also have our spreadsheet for altcoin overtime that showed the jump in Sandbox's token metrics AI grade was a huge jump yesterday. So API 3 is one of those coins, not investment advice. Now, Sandbox on our visual trends indicator went green. Now, sometimes there can be a dip after it goes green. Sometimes it can go sideways and just go, right? Every signal is not perfect, but in an environment where ETH can catch up and unwind some of its outperformance, think about it, right? Like the stuff that everyone gave up on, NFTs and metaverse, NFTs coming up next with Jacob and Chase. Don't go anywhere, right? The stuff that everyone gave up on is the stuff that rallies the hardest if this continues. Okay, again, here's DYDX. Now, I realize they're moving over to Cosmos. There's a catalyst. I get that. But that DYDX grade is high, and price has really not moved yet. DYDX, I believe, at one point was a $10 or $20 token back in the FOMO days. So $1.58 was a key DeMark level. You've got the 13 and 9 bottom, right? And the next DeMark level on a weekly chart of DYDX is at 520. Now you're like, Bill, that's insane. Well, maybe. But if there's all buyers and no sellers, you have to wonder, is it time as a long only player to jump in and try to make money? I mean, I told everybody to keep their powder dry, and now you put some powder to work. I don't know, 10 days? Maybe you'll get lucky. It'll be more than 10 days. And if you can figure out risk reward to get in now, a trading position could be something you could hold for a month. Yeah, we want to be aware of the failed rallies. I can acknowledge that maybe I could fade myself or somebody would fade me going, the bearish guy is bullish for 10 days or more. Okay, fine. But I'm not going to sit on my hands while DYDX goes from $1.58 to $5 when the token metrics AI likes it. Okay, token metrics AI doesn't like Zcash. I do. Okay, Zcash has got a 13 and a 9 bottom, and I'm really interested to see if 54 holds, because that was the bottom last year in July. That's where the whole rally started from. So I'm interested in privacy. You are not going to do it. You are not going to do a retail transaction in the metaverse, or frankly, buy NFTs in the future with the ability to have somebody to look in your wallet, see how much money you got. It's not going to happen. One day, privacy is going to go from the pirates to the consumer, because you need privacy in order to do transactions in crypto without people knowing how much money you got. Okay, now FTX token. Very interested in this. Now, it's not the stock of FTX, but I'm interested to see if this can get above 27 and move to 31, right? This is not FTX token anymore. It's like Sam coin. right? It's like the way for the market to vote on what they think of FTX. So very interesting to see if this can take out 27. Okay. Now, Cake, which people have been searching for, right? Cake just took out $3.10. I think the only way this thing is going to take out 336 and go higher is if this turns into like a 6-week altcoin casino. I'm not predicting that, and I think there's better altcoins to own, but you know, people love their Binance Smart Chain. Okay, XRP. Okay, XRP has resistance at 35 cents. It's tried to go up there and failed miserably. I think for XRP fans, if you see XRP above 35 cents, maybe, just maybe, the upside catalyst could finally be here. So I know this is pie in the sky, but can you imagine a triple threat of big over-the-counter desks ramming the market higher, a lack of short sellers, and then a possible positive catalyst from the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit? Okay, do not underestimate bear market rallies. Cosmos, right? Cosmos, Token Metrics AI grade, like mooning. And Cosmos hasn't moved yet, right? Cosmos was like, I don't know, $20 or more. Now it's like decimated. Everyone's talking about Web3. No one's talking about Cosmos. No one's talking about Polkadot. We talked about this yesterday. Everyone's like, hey, Bill, what about Polkadot? Like, oh my God, look at this thing. This is like, support is at 7. And I'm wondering, like, if this rally, let's say it lasts a month. I mean, if it lasts a day, it's only going to be ETH, really. But what if it lasts a month? Well, normally in bear market rallies, right, the market can go up in stages, right? So like, you know, the highest quality stuff, or let me rephrase, the stuff that people are short goes first. Then the stuff that's destroyed and been abandoned, and everybody goes, wow, Polkadot's at 7. Okay. Like, this is interesting to me. Really. Because everybody is talking about everything except interoperability, right? Altcoins. No one's talking about that. Now, another thing no one's talking about is NFTs. Gentlemen, are you out there? We have Jacob and Chase. Jacob, you want to start us off with like a 3? What's up? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the NFT guys are back, right? They've been so busy hoovering up stuff for free. We'll talk maybe about that later, but what they're going to do is each guy will go to Jacob and Chase, and each guy is going to give you almost like a YouTube short, where they're going to give you a 3-minute summary of a project they're looking at, and then we'll go back in and fill it in, all right? So, Jacob, go.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, awesome. So real quick before I go, everyone, if you liked Bill's altcoins, you liked his TA, make sure you give a like down below. Right now we're at 106 likes. Let's at least try to get to 150 likes so you can encourage us to put out great content as usual. But yeah, let's get started. I want to talk about Soulbound NFTs. What are Soulbound NFTs? Why are they important? And so Soulbound NFTs are transferable tokens. Excuse me. Soulbound NFTs are non-transferable tokens. Unlike normal NFTs, non-fungible tokens, you can trade them whenever. Anyone can earn it. So if I earn an NFT in a game, then I sell it to someone else, they can have the same achievement of earning this NFT, but without actually doing the work. And Soulbound NFTs really started getting popular when Vitalik Buterin, the creator of Ethereum, released this white paper in January of this year. So he mentions World of Warcraft or gaming circles that created this idea of soulbound items that you earn in game and then no one else can have. They're non-tradable. So this is very important because as blockchain gaming develops, you're going to need to show kind of your achievements. And if you can transfer your NFTs, if I grind 10 hours a day and I earn this special gold NFT from a video game and then I can sell it, someone else can then have this gold 10-hour grinded item with doing no work. So Soulbound NFTs are sort of your identity or your account over the gaming metaverse. And an example of this is Soulbound .gg. So they're creating kind of the middle part of the metaverse. So they're connecting a bunch of video games, blockchain video games, and creating soulbound NFTs that work in all of them. So if you achieve something in one game and achieve something in the next, then that all shows up in your profile. So they can't be faked or purchased, and this is through your soulbound profile. You also earn metaverse experience points, or MXP, in order to build your saga. It's their proof of play token system. So Soulbound is a very cool idea. It's kind of like your decentralized identity system that exists across the entire metaverse in multiple blockchain games, not just one. So Soulbound NFTs is definitely a trend we're going to start seeing, especially as blockchain games develop even further. So that's definitely something to keep on your radar. That's my quick version of Soulbound NFTs. But I can go deeper into Saga and kind of other utilities of Soulbound NFTs after Chase gives us his snippet of what he's sharing today.
Yeah, great job, Jacob, and thanks, Bill, for the great market update as always. Today, I'm going to be talking about, it was actually mentioned in the live chat over here. So whoever mentioned the Kevin Hart NFT collection can predict the future, apparently. But yeah, the Kevin Hart NFT collection, the private sale is currently ongoing, and the public sale will start tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Basically, Kevin Hart, this is based on his animated series that he launched on IGTV, Instagram TV, during the pandemic. He decided that he was going to then turn all these different characters that he had created throughout the series into an NFT collection of 10,000 NFTs. It's starting at a price of 0.055 ETH. They also accept credit card, $65 if you're using credit card. But it will unlock multiple sort of forms of utility from the Kevin Hart universe, if you will. That includes access to in real life events. Apparently Kevin Hart really likes cars and motorsports, so he's gonna build some sort of metaverse racing video game. There's also future drops and potentially a in real life hangout with Kevin himself, or maybe it'll be similar to the parties we see at NFT NYC. So yeah, it's a fairly cheap drop. It's actually one of the better renditions of a celebrity doing an NFT drop that I've seen. It strikes me as maybe slightly less of a cash grab than some of these other projects, especially if he plans to continue this animated series. I think it would be a lot of fun to actually see your NFT being portrayed by Kevin Hart. I don't believe that you'll actually own the underlying IP, so you probably won't get any royalty from it, but it'll be cool nonetheless to see. And yeah, that's a quick executive summary of the Confessions from the Hart collection from Kevin Hart, and then another, because everybody likes free things, Memeland, which is by the internet company 9gag. 9gag is sort of like a blog, sort of like iFunny, if people remember that. So they're launching Memeland, almost universe of NFTs. So they already launched their one NFT collection called You the Real MVP collection. And then their next collection is something called Potatoes. Really bizarre, but it's a free mint plus gas. It'll be taking place sometime in July, and if you just go to premint.xyz/potatoes, POTATOZ, you can register for the whitelist for free. There's 6,900 spots. I went ahead and registered because why not? It's a free mint. So yeah, I recommend. You really have nothing to lose by hopping on this pre-mint list. So yeah, check it out.
back to Jacob, let me just address a few things in the chat. So somebody said this guy got everyone to sell the bottom. Okay, so before my vacation in July, yes, I was bearish, expecting the market to go down over July 4th, but the market did not go down. Now, as Jacob and Chase have heard me say, and so have you, when you expect the market to go down, when it should go down and it doesn't, what's it going to do? It's going to go up, right? Like it or not. That's what I had to deal with. Like when Kramer says it has no value and it should have gone lower, it was going higher. How long does that last? I don't know. But if you're into altcoins and NFTs, right, now is the time, right? So my job is to call it as I see it. Now let's take one brief look at a request that somebody made. Okay, this, I believe, if you're looking at it on the screen, gentlemen, is Elrond. So someone was asking about Elrond. Let me see if I can expand this, right? And this is kind of what I mean. So this is our AI-based support and resistance. Now for Elrond, they was support at 54. They went through it 3 times and it held. That to me is a good sign. The next level on the upside is 65. Now, just keep in mind that, Elrond's token metrics grade is still pretty low. The stuff that we're looking for are the things where token metrics grades are rising. So we're either looking for grades that have already mooned or the spreadsheet returns. Okay, we're filtering out through exchanges. So we're looking at Kraken, right? Yesterday, the grade went to 85 and the previous grade was 40. So Sandbox is moving, right? Not only is it moving in the market, but it's also moving in the token metrics grade. On Gate.io, we had CTK, P Network, and Powerpool, right? So we're actually trying to do a little human research analysis for altcoin double overtime and kind of get a jump on what the AI might be looking at next. Okay, so just to show you how this would work, right? We can go to Sandbox on token metrics, right? And then more on NFTs coming up next. So it goes to a strong buy and that grade is up at 85. Meanwhile, Sandbox on charts, yeah, it may be up, but where is it relative to where it was? Let's just look at TradingView for one quick second if I can find it. All right, no TradingView on this one, but you got the point, okay? And again, Sandbox, Ren is there, okay? That's somewhat interesting. Sometimes I think Ren is less of a long play and more of an indicator of interoperability plays. So everyone's yip-yapping about Web3, all right? Make sure you pay attention, right? Like here's API 3 and the token metrics grade. So if you have a coin and you want to know whether or not this is a 1 day or 1 month rally, could be over tomorrow, I don't know, but the token metrics grades can help give you the confidence, which is why Chill 30 is a good coupon to take advantage of because it can pay for itself if the market goes up beyond today. All right, Jacob, you want to fill in what you were looking at on NFTs, like reintroduce it and give us more detail if you have it?
Yeah, definitely. So I can address some comments as well. We have one person saying NFTs are for kids, and we have another saying NFTs are for people who want to make money. So we have different kind of opinions in the chat. I also did see someone mentioning that you can just, 10 KTF are already using Soulbound tokens. So yeah, that it is already out in the market, but I don't think we've started. It's not trendy yet. We haven't seen it. And I think that's also due to the fact that blockchain gaming isn't as developed or developed as it's going to be in the future. I've hopped on a lot of calls with projects and a lot of them are pitching new blockchain games that are AAA, super high quality, great teams. And I mean, games take a while to develop. They take 2, 3, 5 years in order to get the graphics down, to get it fun games that people actually want to play. And this is where Soulbound NFTs come into play, because this is your avatar. This is your character that you bring with you to every single game in the metaverse. And I think that's something that Soulbound.gg is doing very well. Let's take a look at it again. So you earn MXP through meaningful gameplay, education, community, government engagement. So this is a way of rewarding and leveling up your Soulbound token. So you can do quests, social XP, so being a part of communities, gaming guilds, etc. But what Soulbound's also doing is they're partnering with AAA games, such as Phantom Galaxies, High Street, Big Time, which we've featured on this channel before. Big Time's a great AAA high quality game that's built by former executives from Blizzard, Riot Games, all the big top gaming studios. And they've also, so the reason why this is important is when they partner with each of these games, and they're the middle ground. Their Soulbound NFT is going to be used in each of these games. And that it's kind of a way to show off. Right now, NFTs are just about how much money you have. So if you have 90 ETH or 90,000 US dollars, then you can show off your Bored Ape. But if you've put in 50 hours or 50 days of gameplay into this game, no one really knows that, because you could have just purchased those NFTs. However, if this is shown on your Soulbound NFT account, then that shows that you're a good gamer. You don't just have money, or maybe you don't have money, you just have time and are a great gamer. So this is obviously a great idea because they raised $3.6 million. This was about 20 days ago, led by Alameda Brands, who's done Axie Infinity and investments in OpenSea, Dapper Labs, etc., along with a bunch of other venture capital groups. And yeah, I think we can also, let's take a look at Soulbound's team. They definitely have high quality. So their founders, we have Casey, who built Pocket Math, which raised 20 million from a VC, AI Mansbridge, who's a play to earn gaming guild specialist, entertainment and video gaming attorney, a community strategist with over 20 years. And then they also have a lot of partners with kind of the biggest VCs as well as gaming guilds. So we have the founding member of Guild Games, founder of High Street, co-founder of Compute Ventures, CEO of MetalPay, etc. So they definitely have a quality team, and they're trying to be, like someone mentioned before, 10KTF already has Soulbound tokens. There's other NFT projects that have Soulbound tokens, but they're trying to kind of create the infrastructure of Soulbound tokens, and they've already partnered with very high quality AAA games. So it's definitely something to look forward to. I also want to address concerns in the chat that people said NFTs aren't a good buy right now. And I agree with you. NFTs aren't the best way to be deploying your capital. I personally am not investing in, the only NFTs I'm purchasing now are free NFTs. So right now we're seeing a huge meta of free mint. You can go to mint.fun and kind of see upcoming free mint projects. Obviously do your own research, make sure it's not a scam. And by doing this, I'm able to only spend gas, which now it's pretty cheap. So $5 to $10, and then I potentially get a 0.10 ETH. I've flipped a free mint to 0.10 so far, and it's completely degen. But right now I'm not putting money in NFTs. I actually have all my money on the side. So like someone said, I agree. NFTs aren't the greatest buy right now, but I think we also want to, in a bear market, be forward looking and look to the future. What's going to be the next trend? And Soulbound NFTs are going to be a part of the blockchain gaming trend that's really going to come out in 2023. Once all these builders that have been building their video games since 2018, 2019, 2020, by 2023, they're already going to have developed, and we're seeing that a lot of big games, and this NFT infrastructure is going to have to be there, and Soulbound tokens is one of them.
Right. Very interesting. Appreciate that, Jacob. So one thing I wanted to add, when I was at Consensus, I heard about almost like a white paper, or kind of like a thought leadership piece written by Vitalik and somebody else saying that decentralized SOL, as he called it, was the future of ETH. And I looked at that and I go, that's a little bit hard to get your head around, a little less hard thanks to Jacob, right? But decentralized SOL right now feels like what people thought about DeFi back in 2019 and 2020. They were like, DeFi, what's that? Right? So decentralized SOL needs an analyst like Jacob to explain it. But if Vitalik thinks that's the future of ETH, and if you've got a bear market rally, or you can get in for super cheap, think about it. Not investment advice, right? Decentralized SOL, Google the white paper from Vitalik. All right, Chase, have you got anything to add on your project?
Yeah, for sure. First, I just wanted to show off Jacob's website that he just mentioned, mint.fun.com. Like he said, it is total degen. It's super high risk, but it's definitely a lot of fun just to look at. And you're only paying $5 to $10 per NFT. Just make sure that it's a real project and has ideally, a real team behind it. That way, like I said, it's only $5 to $10, but it just don't let it cost you your whole wallet being compromised, obviously. But yeah, so moving back over to the Kevin Hart experience, there's really not much more to it. I would say if you're interested, gas is probably going to be pretty expensive. Kevin Hart has literally almost 40 million Twitter followers. He's one of the biggest followed people on Twitter right now. He's currently rocking his own NFT as his profile picture. But I think it's worth a shot. Somebody did mention they do not have a very good celebrity projects do not have a very good track record, and that I would kind of agree with. With the animated series, though, this one might have a little bit better of chances. He's also interested in launching his own wallet, which personally I wouldn't use the Kevin Hart wallet. I think I would rather just stick to the MetaMask wallet or Coinbase wallet, or maybe even just keep my funds on an exchange before I used the Kevin Hart wallet, which is pretty ironic. As for Memeland and potatoes, I don't really have much else to add about Memeland, or to add about potatoes. I can speak a little bit on Memeland though. Like I said, they've already had a mint of You the Real MVP NFTs, which are sitting at like 23, 24 ETH floor right now. 9gag is huge. They were a Y Combinator startup. They're backed by First Round Capital, Freestyle Capital, Greatcraft Partners. Founded in 2008, they have a global audience of over 200 million across all social media apps. So once their main collection, the Memeland Pirates, or Memeland Captains rather, 9,999 Captains, is released, you got to assume that there will be some sort of utility that go along with the potatoes. Since it is pirate themed, potatoes make vodka. I would assume that there's some sort of dynamic there with the pirates drinking grain alcohol. Could be. That's just speculating. But yeah, I'll be curious to see. Like I said, 9gag is freaking massive, so we should definitely keep an eye out on this.
Okay, thank you, Chase. One thing I want to pull out of that is there could be, like, let's say this rally goes beyond today. Let's just say, okay, you have to look out for like the hidden catalyst. It could be an NFT drop that everyone goes crazy for. It could be a meme coin that everybody goes crazy for, right? We've been looking at a couple of them, right? One of them is actually made its way to token metrics. It's LINU. I made a joke once that Luna's price went so low that it was now Luna Inu, and a week later, somebody launched a fork of SHIB, right? And now Luna Inu is actually a meme coin. Now, again, not investment advice at all, but beware of the hidden catalyst. Now, one final screen share on news, right? Because I want to make sure I put a balanced approach. Okay. So this is a tweet from CZ, right? Just reminding everybody, he said, 3 Arrows owes Voyager 100 million and went bust. FTX gives 3 Arrows 100 million, but didn't save it. Alameda invests in Voyager, then takes a $377 million loan. Okay, Voyager went bust. FTX didn't bail them out or return the money. This is hard to follow. Okay, so as a reminder, as we start to close out the stream, right? The answer to a problem with leverage frequently is more leverage. Now, again, men behaving badly is now a known fact. There are bad positions out there which are eventually going to lead to another leg lower. The question is, what price does it start at? Does it start at 1,200? Does it start at 1,300? Does it start at 1,700? So, final sum up. In a bear market, you want to be leery of the failed rally. Beware the failed rally. But I'm going to add something to that. Okay? If people are buying dips, if ETH dips below 1,200 and comes back, it's not a bull market, unless you can buy a dip and make money. If you see this market dip and people get gratification out of that, okay, then that's a sign that this is continued. So it'll start with the alts that people are short if it goes beyond today. If it goes into next week, you have to be careful of Bitcoin, right? Because everyone has forgotten about Bitcoin. And if there's going to be a bear market rally, there's really not that much resistance in Bitcoin. There's 21, 24, and 25. So ironically, I'm moving from protection mode. I wanted you to protect your capital so that you could be long at the ultimate bottom. This may be a local bottom. Even if it's not a local bottom, don't FOMO in. Don't commit all your capital. But if you're going to make money being long, do it now. Do it while the thing is green and it's going your way. Tokenmetrics.com, 30% off with the coupon CHILL30. If you're going to get in, do it now. So not investment advice, but, while the berries are on the tree, eat up. Because you don't know when the berries are going to be gone. All right? That's it for the market update today, right? On behalf of my guests, Jacob and Chase, right? We wish you well, and we'll see you tomorrow.